Hi everyone, welcome to the page. How are you guys? All right, let's get comfy and let's chit chat. Okay, so this is Jamie and we're talking dentures. So I've had dentures for 3 months now, and it's just something that we're learning, right? We're all learning together and we're trying to navigate this craziness. So I try to address and topics that are asked of me or topics that I notice are really, really popular. So today's topic, a lot of people have asked, what is a nighttime routine? Like, what does your nighttime routine look like? Like, what does it entail? So let's talk about the nighttime routine. Sorry, these pillows are driving me crazy, so I'm gonna move these. So listen, when you had your teeth, you know how you just brush your teeth, maybe floss really quick and do mouthwash? 15 minutes? I'm sorry, 5 minutes? And you're done? Yeah, that's no more. You're more like 15, 20 minutes if you're gonna do it properly. So I have noticed that my nighttime regimen, shower and take my makeup off and do all the things, right? But my teeth has added on like an extra 15 solid minutes, sometimes even 20 minutes. So I just did not expect that. And it's just, that's what it is. So I want to keep myself healthy, my gums, my mouth healthy, and I want to keep my dentures in really good shape. All that's important to me. My dentures are important to me. This is my lifeline, you guys. So, and they were expensive, right? So, I went to a prosthodontist. I didn't go to a regular dentist. And when you go to a prosthodontist, it's a little more expensive and it's just a little bit more, right? So let me go through, if you have dentures or you're getting dentures, I'm just gonna tell you what works for me and what I'm doing. I'm not saying it's right, I'm not saying it's wrong, I'm just saying what works for me. Once you get dentures, or if you already have them and you're struggling to get a routine, maybe this will help you. I don't know. So, okay. So what I do is, I do a few different things. So first off, I asked my prosthodontist, so how do I maintain these? How do I keep them in really good shape? What do I need to do and what do I not need to do? So I'm gonna tell you what he told me, and then we'll kind of go from what I do. So my prosthodontist said, don't ever use toothpaste on your dentures. Just don't use toothpaste. And so I don't use toothpaste, and I use a denture brush. I do use a denture brush, and I don't use toothpaste. He told me just use soap and water. And that's exactly what I do. I use soap and water, and I use a denture brush. I use nothing else on them when I'm cleaning them. So I've had my dentures for 3 months now, and I have to say my routine has already changed in that 3 months, because what I was doing and what I'm doing now, what I was doing was fine, but what I'm doing now is working better. So this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna do something, and then you're gonna maybe figure out doing something else is even better. So what I was doing was taking them out at night. That's on another video. I do not sleep in my dentures. And in the video, it tells you kind of why I don't. So I used to take them out, clean them with soap and water, put them in my container, and I brush my teeth and everything, all the things in my mouth. And that'd be it. That's it. So what I am doing now is I will take out my dentures, and I will get the water hot, and I will get a tablet, a denture cleaner tablet. I will put it in my case, put it there. When my water's hot, I'll get it hot, and then it fizzles and gets once it's like totally melted into the water, while it's doing that, I'll take the dentures out, I'll clean them. So I clean them with soap and water with my denture brush. I get as much glue out as possible. So I want to get as much glue. I really don't want any glue left on them, but I know there's probably just a little bit of residue. And for me, There's, you know, I just want to get them as clean as possible. So I clean them really good. And once I do that, I put them in my container and shut my container and leave it on my counter for the night. So then it goes into my health. So now I've already taken care of my dentures. They're in, you know, I put them in clean, and now they're going to get clean all night long. So before moving on, that is something new, because my prosthodontist said you don't have to soak them at night. If you're not going to wear them for more than 72 hours, then you need to soak them. But if not, you don't have to soak them. You just need to put them in, or you just need to put them in your container, you know, wash them and put them in your container. So, hey, George, Penny. Sorry, my puppy dogs are out here. So, yeah, so I changed that. So now I do use a tablet and I do soak them. So once they're soaking, I do that. So then I move on to my oral health, which is so, so important. Both sides are important, but your oral health is so important. So what I do is I have a toothbrush with toothpaste. I have a very soft toothbrush, and I use toothpaste, same toothpaste I've always used. And I brush my inside of my cheeks, my gums, and my tongue. And I brush them really good. Super soft brush. I do it gentle, but I do it very, very thorough. So I clean it, I take my time, I clean it really, really good. So once I've done that, then I use Crest mouthwash that is for gums. And so I will rinse with that and for as long as I can, and then I'm done. So, but I'm thorough, and I make sure it's clean. And so while I'm, you know, rinsing and doing everything, I'll be cleaning up. You know, I put everything back in my bag. I have everything in a bag. You know, everything's just all together. Nothing is left on the counter. I like everything really clean and put together, and everything, if I need it, I have everything in the bag. I just grab my bag, and everything that I need for my mouth is in there. I have like 4 different denture creams, and I have a couple different toothbrushes, and yada, 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 because I've kind of experimented with creams, but I'm not going to throw them away. I've spent money on them, and they're kind of expensive. So I'm just like, you know, I'm just going to keep them, and I'll use them at some point. Maybe when I run out of my one that I really like and use, I'll just keep using that as a backup kind of situation. I don't want to not use it. So what I do is, after I've done with my mouthwash, you know, I once I'm done with that, I make sure everything is cleaned up, and I put everything away. I keep my cup on my countertop, and I'm done for the night. So I go to bed with no teeth, and everything is soaking. And so in the morning, when I get up, I will repeat the process exactly the same. So I will brush my teeth with toothpaste, brush my gums, my tongue, and inside my cheeks with my soft toothbrush with toothpaste. That's just without my teeth. I'll do that in the morning, and then I'll rinse with mouthwash. Crest, it's for gums. So I'll do that, and then I will, once that's done, I'll take my dentures out of the soaking cup. I will disinfect the soaking cup, and I'll put upside down, let it dry out before I put it away. And then what I do is I take my dentures, and I literally will clean them with soap and water, just to get any residue that may have been left, you know, from the glue. If there's any glue just kind of sitting on there that's loose but still sitting there. So I will take my denture brush and my soap and water, and I will clean them really, really good and rinse them, and then I use my glue and I put them in, and I'm ready for the day. So that's kind of what I do. It's kind of my routine. I feel like keeping our oral health, even with dentures, is so critical. And I did not lose my teeth because I didn't take care of my teeth. I didn't lose my teeth because, you know, whatever reasons, because I had a certain lifestyle. That was not the case. My particular case was hereditary. It runs in the family, and I just have a hereditary issue with my teeth. And so You know, there's nothing I could do. So that is kind of, I feel like even though I don't have teeth, it's still really important to make sure I get all that bacteria out of my mouth and I clean my mouth. And the reality is, if I was to take them out in the middle of the day, I would kind of do the same thing. I would take a few minutes, I would clean everything again. Just like we're supposed to, you know, brush our teeth 2 to 3 times a day, I would do the same thing. However, I'm not gonna take, when the seal is good, I'm not gonna pop those out in the middle of the day just to be able to brush. I'm just not. My top does stay really, really, really well. It does stay with suction. However, I do use glue, and that will be on another video why I use glue, as I have had a little bit of issue with that. And my bottom though, I usually re-glue 1 or 2 times throughout the day. So yeah, so that is kind of, the bottom is a little trickier, especially when you're eating. And the one trick is you cannot eat just on one side. You gotta kind of even it up, or it pops up and then your seal's broken. And then if that's the case, then if I am home, I will brush the bottom and clean the denture, and I won't use a mouthwash so I don't break the seal up top, but I will, you know, have some oral health and, you know, with my toothbrush and toothpaste, and do the bottom and my cheeks and my tongue and kind of do that. So my biggest takeaway, or what I'm hoping you take away from this, is it's still really, really important that you get that bacteria out of your mouth and you keep yourself as healthy as possible, because our mouths are so full of bacteria and you just want to be as healthy as you can. And by keeping your dentures really clean and sterile, you're going to be able to do that a little better too. So I hope that I've been able to answer any questions or helped you kind of navigate what you want to do or what you should do. Again, this is just what I do and what works for me, but you're going to figure out what works for you, and you do what works for you know, best for you and your lifestyle. But I absolutely would ask your dentist or your prosthodontist, your denturist, what they recommend, because they will know, and remember, they're the experts. So guys, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you hanging out with me on my channel, and make sure you're subscribing, commenting, sharing. If you have someone else that has dentures, definitely share my videos. I would appreciate that. I'm just trying to get a little bit of traction on this new channel. And you know, if there's a topic you want me to talk about, just put it down below, put it in the comments, and I'll address it. You know, we're all kind of learning together, and because I haven't had them for that long, but boy, have I learned a lot in the 9-month drama that I've had. This has been going on for 9 months, but I've only had my actual dentures for 3. So we'll get through this together, and hopefully I can be a little bit of light, because I know sometimes this can be a really, really dark time for people. I do know, because I've been there. All right, guys, thank you guys so much. I will see you on the page soon. Hi.